Wow, overnight I think there's a song about that, about getting rid of the guns, and I am disappointed with humanity, and disappointed in my own country a lot, that we use militarism as such a guiding factor, and that we haven't shown the political willpower to do something about the destruction that we've wreaked on the earth for the last 100 years. If I could change those overnight, that would be it. World of cooperation. A world where we spend more on schools and hospitals than on bombers and nuclear weapons. A world where people don't fear people who speak a different language or who have a different religion than them. A world where people weren't looking for their next meal, as most do in the world. Yeah, those would be very important to me. Well, but that really is it. You know, the bus, as Ken Kesey said of himself, is my best work. Even as great of a writer as he was, surprisingly enough, every time he was asked what was his best work, he always replied, "Well, it's the bus." And I feel the same way. I really relate to his work in the 60s, and I feel like this is ripples of that. And just seeing the joy on people's face as we come around the corner, or lighting people up with a night of dancing, that's everything to me. And the collaboration that we bring into it with our friends, going along the road, sharing a message, painting signs, cooking together, yeah, that is, you know, it's our experience is so far beyond any of my wildest daydreams that I had in 1995 on the East Coast when I started putting this bus together. I mean, I had some ideas of what might happen, but what has transpired and the trip that we're on right now is just so far beyond anything I had in mind back then. And it's just, every day is magic to me. And to share this and have this be a vehicle of transformation and sharing art and music with people, that's what I bring to it. And I feel really, really empowered and blessed to be able to share that with people. I think the work that we've had to do with other crew members and the work that we've done with Consensus has really stretched me and has made me look at my own tolerance and my own ability to listen to other people's concerns, and has made me slow down and think about what comes flying out of my mouth before I say it. So these processes that we've been doing within the group on the bus are making me grow also on a daily basis. Yeah. You know, everything has gone so smoothly. You know, the challenges have not been anything that we couldn't overcome. I think leaving my place of nature, my home in the Santa Cruz Mountains, was just everything I ever wanted. The quietness, the nature out my back door, it was just heaven on earth to me, Mountain Shangri-La. So leaving that and going into a very industrial urban area in East Oakland to work on the bus for 4 months was really challenging for me. But you know, I always had my eye on the end of that tunnel, and we came through it real well. And yeah, that was the most of it. It really, everything, the synchronicities that have been happening along the way have really knocked out any, you know, big challenges that we've had, and have really shown me that we're on a true path, a path that really resonates with our hearts, because these synchronicities are rolling on, you know, almost on a daily basis, and I recognize them and see them as signs on the road to say you're on the right path. Yeah, 1964, that was the year I was born. I was 6 months old when they took off on that journey. And it has been a great inspiration to me, and I think that what we're doing here is ripples of what Ken Kesey and the Merry Pranksters did in 1964. They're definitely cultural heroes of mine. I think they are iconic players in what happened in the San Francisco Bay Area in the 1960s in the counterculture. And while there are many similarities between what the Magic Love Bus is doing in 2012 and what the bus further did in 1964 with Neal Cassady at the wheel, including our route, we're actually following a very parallel route, I think the differences are huge. Our ability to communicate what we're doing today versus what was available in 1964, it's just a whole different world. We can, in the click of a finger, the press of a button, reach millions of people with what we're doing and with our message. And I think people's awareness all over the world is much higher than it was in 1964. And I believe our mission is beyond further. While they were starting a movement about conscious evolvement at the time, what they were really on was a joyride. The Merry Pranksters on the Further Bus in 1964 had talked a year earlier about going to the World's Fair. And they had so many people that were going to go in cars, they said, why don't we just get a bus? So an idea for a group road trip turned into a bus, turned into a cross-country trip that it was made famous by Tom Wolfe's book, Electric Kool-Aid Acid Tests. And the fact that an iconic figure from the Beat generation, Neal Cassady, was at the wheel also made it an incredible story. And we're taking that trip to a different point, to a higher level. Also talking about expanding consciousness, but also using the technology of today to spread that message far and wide and at the click of a button in a moment's notice.